Welcome back, everybody. Lebanon's Prime Minister Saad Hariri is to travel to Iran this weekend. Hariri is scheduled to meet with top Iranian officials, including President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad. Regional developments and Lebanon's politics are expected to be at the heart of the talks. Saad Hariri's trip to Tehran comes after President Ahmadinejad's landmark visit to Beirut last month. Well, for more on that story, Ali Risk, Press TV's correspondent in Beirut, joins us now. Ali, tell us more about the agenda of the visit by Saad Hariri to Iran.
Well, it is expected that the Lebanese Prime Minister will discuss many political issues in addition to the economic aspect during this visit. But I think most important of all is the personal aspect related to this visit by Saad Hariri. As you do know, this visit, as you said, this visit comes after the visit of Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad to Lebanon, which was described as a visit which opened a new chapter in state-to-state relations between Lebanon and Iran. Of course, previously, when anyone mentioned Iran and Lebanon, what comes to one's mind would be Hezbollah and Iran's support of Hezbollah. So the last visit of the Iranian president to Lebanon kind of brought about a more comprehensive relationship, more state-to-state relationship rather than state-to-party relationship between Iran and Lebanon, or between Iran and the various players on the Lebanese arena. But when it comes to the personal aspect, that is very important to point out. Saad Hariri is a guy who had previously very much spoken anti-Iranian rhetoric, anti-Iranian and anti-Syrian rhetoric, and had also described both the Syrian and Iranian leaderships as being hostile leaderships. So here I think it's important, such a personality to come now and to visit Iran. And now, of course, we also have to point out that Saad Hariri, ever since becoming Prime Minister, has notably changed his stances, in public at least, towards Syria and towards Iran. And I think you can't decouple this from the developments taking place within the region between other players, most notably Saudi Arabia and Iran. We know that Iran has increased its contacts with Saudi Arabia. For example, discussions held, the phone discussions between the Iranian president and King Abdullah, the meetings which have happened here in Beirut between the Iranian and Saudi Arabian ambassadors, in addition to the Syrian ambassador. And we all know Saad Hariri's close ties with the Saudi Arabian leadership. So I think all of this contributes and points out to why this visit is actually taking place and why Saad Hariri has decided right now to take this step and pay a visit to Iran.
Well, what can you tell us about the future prospects of Iran-Lebanon ties?
Well, most important of all, of course, is the economic sphere. I think that is an important issue. It might not be the most important point, but it is something which is also extremely important. Saad Hariri is someone known to have, of course, as a priority, the economic agenda in Lebanon, developing Lebanon's economic agenda. We all witnessed the many different agreements which were signed, most of them in the economic sphere during the last visit by the Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad to Lebanon. So the economic ties and Iran's contribution to the electricity and power sector in Lebanon is something notable. Of course, we also have the possibility of Iran providing the Lebanese army with military assistance. That is also an issue which has been raised. The cultural ties also something which was raised between the two countries during the last visit of President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad. We all remember the lecture he gave at the Lebanese University, where he spoke of culture and he spoke about how the two countries could enhance their cultural ties. Ahmadinejad also spoke highly during his visit of Lebanon's diverse culture, its diverse structure, religious diversity and cultural diversity as well. So I think all of this provides a horizon for more developed ties. And of course, we have the most notable and most important issue, which is Iran's support for Hezbollah, which remains to be, despite the fact that state-to-state relations have developed, Iran's relations to the resistance and to Hezbollah remains the backbone of the relations between Iran and Lebanon in general.
Well, one last question, Ali. There are reports that the Hariri family is being urged to withdraw its complaints in the Rafiq al-Hariri tribunal. What do you know about that?
Well, of course, we're not sure. We don't have any clear information or any clear stances made by Saad Hariri as of yet regarding that matter. Many people are saying that this is part of some kind of American pressure, specifically from who was referred to as the U.S. administration's point man in Lebanon, Jeffrey Feltman, the U.S. Assistant Secretary of State. So many are interpreting this as pressure being practiced on by the U.S. on the Hariri government. But I think that's not very important. What is most important of all right now are the Saudi-Syrian efforts which are currently going on to try and reach some kind of a breakthrough for the tribunal and for the negative repercussions of a possible indictment by the tribunal. Currently, there are intense efforts being pursued by Syria and Saudi Arabia, and Saad Hariri has expressed his support for any decision or any stance taken by the Saudi Arabian King Abdullah. So I think it's most important of all is to monitor these efforts between the Syrians and Saudi Arabians, because if Saudi Arabia as a leadership as a whole does make a specific decision, Saad Hariri is sure to follow up with that decision.
All right, many thanks. Press TV's correspondent in Beirut, Ali Risk.